Sup guys, one more Type R here. We have another video today. We're going to talk about the valve adjustment clearances, and I'm going to try to make this video as quickly as superly possible. I've been trying to record this video for almost three times, and I'm just going to try to slap this on as quickly as possible by mentioning what tools you need first. The tools that you're going to need is going to be an open-ended ratchet. So you know if a regular ratchet looks like. It has the top of the head. It will say Snap-on or Matco tools or something like that, and it will just tighten stuff down. The open-ended ratchet on top, it's an open head, and you can put sockets through it. So on the top, you can put whatever you want through that. We ended up using a skinny screwdriver and the flathead specifically, and that worked out for us very, very well. There were small tools, maybe about not even this remote of long. So if you have a Roku remote, not even that long. So like maybe about close to that. Maybe about the size of a Roku remote. If you have a Roku remote, there you go. You're also going to need a valve cover gasket. You're also going to need flared feeler gauges. So flared feeler gauges are curved. So they're not straight. They have a little bend like that. And you can run them through a lot easier with the fuel line still there, and in the back too if you take out the cowl. That's how I did it, and it worked out really, really great for me. What you're also going to need for this project is 90-minute gasket maker. That's what I ended up using for sealing the front side of the valve cover, the back side of the left side of the valve cover, the right side of the valve cover where the curve, again this is for the K series, where the curve meets the flat surface like this. You're gonna put it right between right there, and on the other end on the right side where it meets almost like this, so like that, more like that, yes, right here you're gonna put a decent amount of 90-minute gasket maker. It's not gonna require a lot, maybe about like a maybe like a dime size or a bean. That would be more accurate. Probably like a size of a pinto bean would be more accurate for putting those drops. For the torques for the bolts that the valve cover are 8.5 foot-pounds. Generally, the rule of thumb is for it to be tight, hand tight, but I totally recommend torquing it. I tend to have a little bit of a scarcity with torquing stuff like that because these are studs, and they tend to take a little bit less of a beating than a regular bolt. So please be careful and use common sense when you're tightening these down. I just hand tightened them, so literally when I felt a little bit of resistance, I just stopped, because 8.5 pounds isn't that much. So the way that you adjust the valves is you take off the cover. You are going to follow the instructions. Again, follow the instructions. I'm just paraphrasing, so please follow the owner's manual. You have plenty of reputable locations. Charm.li. So that's CHARM.LI. You can find stuff for the Honda Civic Si procedures on there, and diagnosing trouble codes. I love that website. I found that out through TikTok. So there it is for you. Share it with everybody. For this project I used Pro Mitchell, and this is similar to All Data, just like Charm.li is similar to All Data. And it shows you the procedures there, it shows you the clearances, and what you need to do is to get it to top dead center, take out the spark plugs. It's going to be a lot quicker. And just a heads up, the engine does have to be cold when you're making adjustments. So let's proceed. So you have to get it to top dead center on cylinder 1. When you get it to top dead center on cylinder 1, the trick that my shop foreman told me is if you can shake the valves very loosely, you know for sure that the valves are closed, and you can make your adjustments accordingly. So you want to start with the .010 for the back and the .010 for the front, and you want to check them accordingly. Again, little bit of drag. The best way to put it is like butter, smooth in and out, smooth in and out, with just the slightest amount of drag, slightest amount of drag. If you can fit a .013 in there, it's loose. You have to tighten it. If you can fit a .08 in it, it might be too tight. But again, check with your specs, because in these K series, it's not a specific number according to Pro Mitchell. It is a window of between this number and that number. I'm not going to be specific. Check Charm.li or Pro Mitchell if you work for Ford. And you'll want to check the first one. Then you rotate the camshaft, not the crank, the camshaft 90 degrees. Or rotate the crankshaft 180 degrees. And you do this for cylinder 1, then cylinder 3, then cylinder 2, then cylinder 4. And over again. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing because I want you guys to look this up, but that's roughly how the procedure goes. And it's super easy. And it's even easier if you have the Honda valve adjustment tool. That's all the information that I got for you right now. I will show you the before and after video. Please, if you like this video, comment below if you guys need any pointers. And follow the page for more dumb stuff, because I'm learning on this car from a fan of loving Celicas for such a long time. I'm now learning about these Honda things, and let me tell you, I am learning quite a bit. So here's the before shot. Now here's the after video. And this is after the adjustment. What's up, guys? So I'm editing this video again, and I realized the fact that during the end I was trying to explain, but I got too much into like this little world of story time, and I'm sure you guys don't want to hear story time. So after my adjustments, cylinder 3 was the one that was the loosest at .013. The spec is within, again, roughly, these aren't concrete numbers, between 7 and 10, and these were at 13. So, and that was the most noisiest lifter out of everything. And that got adjusted. And as soon as I started driving it, I can still hear the lifter ticking, but it wasn't as strong as it was before the adjustment. So the adjustment did work. The only difference that I realized that was fascinating to me was at idle. My idle was very firm. That's the best way to put it. So like I was saying at the start of the video, if I did mention it, if not, then it feels like the car is off. Like it's that smooth. And as far as power, the best way I can put this is it's firmer. And I think that's the feeling of gaining torque, is when you start feeling the more firm power of it. Because there's a difference between power and torque. Torque is the way that the car is pulling you back in the seat. And power is speed, is how fast you're going. So I felt more tough. It felt more firm. And I think more firm. Sorry, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's kind of very hard to do this video. But I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible. So it was more firmer. So I think I definitely gained some type of torque from adjusting my exhaust valves. My exhaust valves were loose, my intake valves were just fine, and they were within spec. Again, at 220,000 miles. And do I regret doing this adjustment? No, I don't regret it, because at the end of the day, this adjustment has to be done. to maintain health of the engine, because if not, then you run into burning oil issues, you run into power issues, you run into so many different things. So want to just do the adjustment, take off the valve cover, buy the tool, and do your adjustment slowly and take your time and be supervised. Took me maybe about like 2 hours out of my day, 3 hours out of my day, but that was on a lift too, being supervised. So if I get the hang of this and do a couple more at a time, maybe like an hour, 2 hours most. But I would personally say schedule a day where you can have the car cool down, where it's not hot, and do the job all in one day, so you're not rushed, because you don't want to rush through this. Because if you do adjust these too tight, you will burn the valves and you will ruin the motor. Or worst case scenario, like my shop foreman told me, the car won't start. Because again, if the valves can't open, car can't breathe, car can't exit through the exhaust, so it's not going to start. And that's just the worst case scenario. It will run, but if you adjust them too loose, you'll burn the valves up and it will cause performance issues. Hopefully this video was super clear. I'm going to end this video now with after the engine has 100% warmed up and after the adjustment. So you guys saw the video of before the adjustment on the cold engine. You guys just saw a video of after the adjustment on a cold engine, and now I'm going to show you after the adjustment on a hot engine. Hope you guys liked the video. Peace out. So as far as I can tell, I do not hear the tick from inside the cabin. I don't really hear much of a tick. The only tick that is most definitely from somewhere else. It's not coming from the valve cover. It's from somewhere else, because the engine sounds very silent right now. I think it might be a sensor or something that's causing a tick, but as you can tell, it's running really smooth. Almost like it's not even like shaking at all. So it's surprising to me, but that's nice. That's really nice. I definitely recommend it for somebody that's going to do adjustment. Do it. If you have 200,000 miles, just do the adjustment, because it does make a difference, and it runs a lot smoother too.